Good morning everyone. So last time we discussed about the various treatment units which uses aerobic and anaerobic bacteria for the decomposition and stabilization of their organic matter. The various treatment units which we discussed were firstly the aerobic treatment units which uses aerobic bacteria which include filtration, activated sludge process, oxidation bonds and oxidation leaches. And the second one which we discuss is about anaerobic treatment units which uses anaerobic bacteria for the decomposition of organic matter, which includes septic tanks and Imhoff tanks. Now we will discuss about the next treatment unit, which is our secondary sedimentation tanks, which we also call them as humus tanks. Now what happens when the trickling filters, the effluent we obtain from the trickling filters only removes a small portion of finely divided suspended organic matter. While most of the organic matter undergoes decomposition due to these aerobic bacteria which are present in the trickling filters, due to this what happens during their oxidation and nitrification in this filtering process, what happens that they get coagulated and they becomes bulkier and heavy, and when they pass to their next treatment units they get settled due to their own weight, which is due to gravity. Now, if this effluent which is aerobically oxidized and nitrified from the filter is retained there for a certain period of time, what happens? These heavier and bulkier particles get settled down at the bottom, like in the plain sedimentation, or we can call it primary sedimentation tank. The function is same. Then, after the filtration, when we use this sedimentation tank, these are called as secondary clarifier or secondary settling tanks. So, in these secondary clarifiers, the detention time which we held the effluent for is about 1.5 to 2 hours, and the overflow rate ranging from 40,000 to 70,000 liters per meter square per day. Now, as we already discussed that in primary sedimentation tanks, we talked about the rectangular tanks and the circular tanks which we commonly used. But in these secondary clarifiers, we use one special type of tanks which are called as Dortmund tanks. Okay, Dortmund tanks. Why this is called as Dortmund tank? Because its shape is like somewhat like conical. So what are these Dortmund tanks? Dortmund tanks are like circular tanks with deep conical hoppers. The dia of these circular hopper tanks generally varies from 7.5 to 9 meter. These values you have to remember because in numericals sometimes we have to assume these values. So these types of Dortmund tanks which are usually called as hopper bottom tanks, here these are generally used these days because of their large advantage. So these provides the sufficient capacities with sufficient capacities. What happens in these tanks that the effluents which is coming from the high filtering rates, what is high filter rates, in which we recirculate the effluent back to the primary sedimentation tank and then again passes it through the trickling filters. Okay. So when we again passes it through the trickling filters, then it comes to the next, that is secondary clarifiers. So we have to provide with large capacities, okay, so that they can obtain sufficient time to settle down, okay. And what happens, the heavier particles started to settle down for a longer detention time, which we already discussed is about 1.5 to 2 hours, okay. So what happened when the sludge getting settled, so we will regularly remove these sludge settled at the bottom continuously or rapidly, because this will cause nuisance in the effluent. So what are these Dortmund tanks look like? Look, this is the diagram of Dortmund tank. Look, here it is. The thing is, it is of circular shape here and is of conical bottom. We provide sludge pipe here so that the sludge settled here due to gravity is removed by this desludging pipe. So various equipments and all these sides are protected with concreting, okay. So volume can be obtained from this conical section, as we know that the volume of cone is what, 1 by 3 pi r square h. So here it is written 1 by 3 radius in terms written is in terms of dia, pi d square upon 4 into depth is height, okay. So this is how a Dortmund tank looks like. Now we will move towards the numerical part. Now in this numerical, we are asked to design the percolating filters with conical humus tanks for treating 7 million liters of sewage per day. So we have to firstly design the conical humus tanks, that is Dortmund tank, which we already discussed above, okay. So first of all we have to design the filters. So what we have to do, I already told during the trickling filters that you have to remember some design considerations for the construction of trickling filters. What are design considerations? Various time like retention time, hydraulic loading rates, and depths at. Okay, so here it is given that we have to design percolating filters. It is not specifically given that what type of filter it is to have. You have to design like contact pad, you have to design intermittent sand filter, have to design, or and next one is trickling filter you have to design. But most commonly, if this is not given, you have to design for trickling filters. Okay, so in trickling filters I already told you that the hydraulic loading rate is vary between 22 to 44. So in trickling filters I already told you, wait, I already told you that hydraulic loading varies between 22 to 44 million liter hectares per day. So you have to assume in between these values. I assume the value of 28 million liter hectares per day. Okay. Now, first of all, determine the surface area of filter bed required. How to determine the surface area? Simply divide the sewage flow which is given. Okay, that is 7 million liters per day. It with hydraulic loading rate. Okay, from here you can see that the million liters and day cancel here, and we get the term in hectares. To convert hectares into meter square, and we get the surface area as 2500 meter square. Now we use 2 to 3 trickling filters in contact to each other. Why? Because sometimes the influent is very high. So we have to provide parallel beds so that it can carry large amount of sewage. Okay, so I assume that I have consumed two equal size circular beds. Okay, I assumed circular tanks. I already taught you that there are two types of tanks in the trickling filters, that is one rectangular tanks, other is circular tanks. In rectangular tanks we have to sprinkle the sewage through nozzles, and in circular tanks we sprinkle the sewage through rotary distributors. Okay, in which 3 or 4 rotary distributors are given, and at time of less flow, when there is less flow of sewage, we have to use only 2 rotaries, and if the sewage is at peak flow, then we have to use 4 rotaries. Now I assume that we consider 2 circular tanks. Okay, so the area must be divided by 2 so that we can obtain the dia of each tank. Okay, so that's why I divided the area here by 2, and we can simply use the formula pi by 4 d square, and from where we can calculate the dia. Okay, now from here it is clear that we use 2 trickling filters with dia of 40 mm dia. Sometimes an extra unit may also be considered as an standby units in case of emergencies. Okay, so here we got the dia of the trickling filter for which we have to design. Now next comes to the bottom part, which is next comes to the secondary clarifier. Okay, so I already told you that in secondary clarifier generally we use humus tanks or Dortmund tanks. So first of all, I already tell you that the detention time in these Dortmund tanks is about 1.5 to 2 hours. So I assume the value of 1.5 hours. Okay, now how to determine the capacity of the tank? Okay, so how to determine? We receiving 7 million liters per day of sewage, and when we multiply it with time, okay, then we got, and convert the day into hours, we get the capacity of the tank, which is 437 meter cube. Now as the Dortmund tank is conical in section. Okay, so how can we obtain the volume? Here it is the formula of volume, 1 upon 3 pi d square upon 4 into depth, or you can in terms of radius, pi by 1 by 3 pi r square h. Okay, now we are assuming that we are using 4 tanks, okay, with 7.5 meter depth. Why we are using this 7.5 meter depth? Because I already told you that we consider the circular tanks, that is deep conical hopperts with dia and height ranging from 7.5 to 9 meter. So I assume the value of 7.5 meter. Okay, so now volume of each tank how can we obtain? We already know the capacity of the whole tank. Okay, that is 437, and we now assume that it divided into 4 tanks, so we divide it with 4, we get the volume of each tank. Okay, now How can we find the dia of each tank? Similarly, put the values and depth here, and you can obtain the dia from this formula, that is volume formula, and you get the dia about 7.5 meter. So from here we use 4 tanks with dia for 7.5 meter and height also as 7.5 meter. Why I okay, okay. Now next, sometimes an additional tank as a standby tank like in trickling filters is also provided. So total 5 tanks is provided in this case.